Hello, everyone. Marcus. Well, I said I was going to stop introducing my name, so I need to start to get that out of my head canon introduction. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last we left off, Von Karma almost got his ever so wonderful guilty verdict, and Larry, unbelievably, managed to get us out of it. Now we just need to see what he's gonna say and hope it does not dig us into a much deeper hole, although I can't think of a hole any deeper than guilty. Oh boy. Court is now back in session. Where's my mouse? There we go. Witness, please testify to the court about everything you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Oh God, please, Larry, do not mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance at this. At least Von Karma didn't have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony even for this court. Well, in any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's gonna say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. Oh boy, what's gonna come out of his mouth? Oh boy. That night, I was out in the boat on the lake. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't even know where to begin. Oh. Well, first of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? Well, I was looking for something, and, I found it. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it that you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Someone is being a bit pissy. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for, about an hour. I guess it was about 12, yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? Oh, God. People use watches these days, Larry. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this loud bang. I pressed the wrong button again. I might as well start a montage. Wrong button, wrong button. Ugh. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over there, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. Huh. So, after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So, you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick, it was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Well, I already know what the problem is. Now we have 3 witnesses. Both both the shop caretaker and Lotta Hart said that they heard 2 gunshots. However, Larry here is saying he heard 3. He heard 3. Wow! Yeah, Larry heard 3 gunshots. He's amazing. No, he heard 1 gunshot. And then therein lies the problem. Lotta's testimony there we go, yeah, So it's right there, Lotta's testimony right there. She heard 2, he heard 1. That does not make any sense at all. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang. You're sure? Well, that's what I just said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now, he said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening, Larry? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? What? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard 1 gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Huh? Not sure? How can you be not sure, Larry? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else. My radio, dude. With my headphones. What? Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts, were you listening to the radio with your headphones? Yeah, so what? Is that a crime? I'll listen to my radio. Everyone listens to a radio. Well, what's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion. Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Oh god. This is getting worse and worse as we go on. He was listening to the radio. So he might have missed the second show. Oh my god. It's very safe to say that this testimony can self-destruct at any moment. But let's just say, for argument's sake, for the love of all that's holy, that Larry is right and he heard only 1 gunshot. There was only 1. That still begs the question of why did he hear 1? Well, he just answered. He was listening to the radio. I am desperately trying to salvage something from this, and nothing is being salvaged. Oh god. I don't think we have much of a choice unless we want Von Karma to rip us to shreds. Let's keep going! No, I think I heard enough. This is all too embarrassing. No, that's not what I meant! In fact, I think we've all heard enough. What are you thinking, Nick? I pressed the wrong button! Oh, shoot! If you stop now, Mr. Edgeworth will be found guilty! We have to turn this trial around now! Your Honor, please. Please allow the witness to continue his testimony, which is what I meant before pressing the wrong button. I am so sorry. Oh god. Man, even Larry's affected me. It's like, what did I just press? Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony, and be sure to include details like your radio. Right. Leave it to me. Oh god, I wouldn't if there were any way out of this. Believe me, Larry. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it like real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what that DJ was saying when I heard it too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? Even teenagers do it nowadays where they can't even hear people speaking 2 feet in front of them. What's the matter with it? Oh, God. I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drumbeat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard a gunshot. Excuse me? A DJ. An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine this witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. That's actually true. DJ only talks between music. So, maybe he heard a gunshot? Maybe? Possibly? Theoretically? It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. So, you turned on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there, alone on Christmas Eve. Alone! I shouldn't have said anything. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio, that is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? Well, I was listening to it real booming loud like. Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on? Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. Can you prove that, Larry? No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? I remember exactly what that DJ was saying when I heard it, too. Well, what did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could come knowing what a radio DJ said? I butchered that sentence. I am sorry, Von Karma. Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. There is no reason to care? Well, Von Karma has no idea what Larry said. This is our only chance, even though it could mean nothing in the long run. Please tell us, Larry. We need everything. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. And why, Mr. Wright? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, huh? Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard a gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. Oh, this is the most ludicrous testimony I'd ever heard. But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. Somewhere. I just gotta press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Oh, joy. Okay. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-requests show. Uh-huh. You're sure you heard the gunshot? You remember exactly what the DJ said when you heard the gunshot. Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Larry, couldn't it be a bit more clear? Oh my god. Can someone get me the murder weapon here and aim it at my head? I want to get shot in the head. Please, please. With Larry here, where? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard a gunshot. Shite. You can tell by my nervous laughter I have no idea in hell what to do. Hey, it's almost Christmas. I have no idea what that has to do with anything. Okay, so basically if we combine everything here, we're saying that Larry heard a gunshot the moment the DJ said it's almost Christmas. Almost Christmas meaning that it's not Christmas time yet. How does that help us? Oh my god, He heard one gunshot when it was almost Christmas. Lotta Hart and the boat caretaker both heard 2 gunshots. I suppose the problem there is we don't know when they heard it? Question mark? I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's think. We do have photograph. Wait. Photographs. Lotta Hart just gave us, well, in the last 2 episodes ago, whenever, she gave us a picture that had nothing on it. That was time-stamped December 24th, 1150. Oh my god. It was almost Christmas. It was 1150 when he heard that one gunshot. And then we have that other photo, that 12:15, 2 gunshots. Oh my god. 11:50 and 2:15. That is 0. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. That's a 25-minute difference. 2 separate gunshot incidents in 2 separate days. Albeit 25 minutes apart, but that's still 2 separate days, legally. Oh my god. Larry, what you heard was back at 11:50. Now what the hell do I present? I don't know. Is it Lotta's disposition? Yes! 12:25! I got it! Larry, are you absolutely sure about what you're saying? Are you sure that's right? Huh? What's with the face, Nick? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easily. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot. Indeed. And? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard that gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the 2 testimonies we've heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard those gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! Then what does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim that he heard a gunshot before midnight? He's right. Lotta Hart's other photo that was at 11:50. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim of yours? Show me evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight. Oh, wouldn't you like that? If I can find it. I cannot find it for the life of me. Ha! Let's see here. Oh, never mind, it's right here. No, sorry. Yeah, I know it was right in front of my face, but the thing was, I got so distracted in a moment. Yeah, I'm not doing a good job convincing you guys, am I? But anyway, right here, yes. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo, it clearly reads December 24th, 11:50. Oh? Oh. But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It's why this photograph even exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Oh! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming that she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots, with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be? Oh, don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Why am I sounding like Von Karma? Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any. I think I do, 'cause it honestly has been bugging me this entire time, and it's this. The whole time we've heard Lotta Hart and the caretaker saying 2 shots, and yet this pistol has been fired 3 times. Where was the 3rd bullet? This might explain why there were 3 shots. 11:50 was shot number 1, 12:15 midnight was shots 2 and 3. This is the only thing that explains it. This is my evidence, Your Honor. The murder weapon. Something about this pistol has been bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 shots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order! Huh. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50 and another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you then? Why? Uh-oh. I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshot separated by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the steel samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. Look, you just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Alright, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here other than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Mr. Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Oh, listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance to the shooting was 1 meter. It could not have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence at the time of the shooting. The timestamp of the photo says 15, as in 12:15 at night. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be proven innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. If the shot occurred at 11:50, Hammond is dead, so Hammond cannot be on the boat. It's Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, he didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. It's ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... I don't know. But I'm having a I'm having a very, very odd suspicion. Everyone involved in this case now was involved in some way or another to DL6. Robert Hammond, the defense attorney, Miles Edgeworth, the witness, and apparently the old boat shop, the old man who runs the shop for the boats, as proven by the parrot. Thank you. So, theoretically, it could be the shop caretaker. Why he would do it, I don't know, but if he doesn't remember things from a few years ago, I think he's lying, because then why would he want to kill Robert Hammond? Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. Huh? The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop. Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out onto the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real crime scene was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? So let's think of it this way. Larry said he had just docked the boat, and he was walking when he heard the gunshot. So that means Larry would be here. The only place that the murder could take place then, within range of Larry's severely limited hearing because of the headphones, is here. The boat shop rental. The boat rental shop. God dang it, I can't get it. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. I did not mean to do that. Get out of here. There we go. That way, he can meet with the victim without seeing anyone. Without anyone seeing. Then do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please, tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out to the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? It had to be the boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both Miss Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details, come on, Wright. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. He intended to miss. So the only other reason is to create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. To create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard a shot would look directly at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men in the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw it into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask you to remain quiet. Well, I'm sorry, but the witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should we do? We'll find him, quickly! We can't allow him to get away! Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared! A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Now we need to figure out who the hell he is. That man is quite possibly our murderer. Yay, Nick! You did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his, unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I feel it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There is something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No. There's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime that you committed. A memory of a murder. What? Are you sure you should be dropping that bombshell on us, Edgeworth? I don't think that's a good idea, but we just got you out of a guilty verdict. God help us. Well, somehow we managed to get out of that monumental mess, and I am going to go ahead and stop and take a short break. I will see you guys all on the next video. Later, everyone. Ugh.